So today, we're putting together some drills to show how to teach the younger players of baseball, a more effective way of learning how to hit. I have a very special guest with me. He's one of my personal hitting coaches. Spent some time in pro baseball. What's going on?
How you doing, Jeff?
Pretty good. So, tell us a little bit about your baseball background.
Sure. So I played at Eastern High School for 4 years. I was a varsity player for 3. I went on to Quinnipiac University for 4 years. Played all 4 years. Had a pretty decent career. Good enough that I was able to break the pro ranks and signed with independent baseball team and ended up playing for 5 years. So I have high school, I have 4 years of college, I also have a degree under my belt, and also 5 years of professional baseball experience.
Nice. So that's part of the reason I come to him is because he's very knowledgeable, he's really fun to work with, he's helped me make a lot of great strides. But another big reason that he's with me today is because he works with the target audience that this whole project is geared towards, which is, the younger side, very young kids, anywhere. What's the youngest you've been working with?
The youngest kid I work with is 4 years old. 4 years old, yes.
So that's exactly about the target audience this project has been towards, that 4 to 8 years old range. Just getting into finding what sports work for them. Being a real beginner. So, what is your main focus when you're approaching coaching someone who's so young, who might not comprehend something as easy as, say, someone older like myself?
Right, and that's an important point that you brought up. For a kid from 4 to 8, I would even go so far as to say 9 to 10. I wouldn't show them the things that I would show you, only because it's more difficult to understand. So the main thing I try to do with the young players, and what we all try to do here at CORE, is we try to get the kids, number one, to like it. That's the most important thing. Kids, they're very attentive. If something moves over here, their attention is drawn. So the biggest thing is to manage their behavior and make sure that they enjoy the experience, because that's what they're going to remember. As a kid, you don't remember much. You remember how people make you feel. So, when they get older in their baseball, they remember that. And instead of looking at baseball as a negative experience, we want to make it a positive one for them. So the younger that we get them, honestly, the better, because not only can we coach them, we can teach them how to love the game before, the game gets hard, because it does get hard.
Especially if a game is failure prone as baseball, where the best of the best are only successful 30% of the time. 3 out of every 10 at bats. It's easy. Even I love the game. I'm going to play college ball next year, and I still get pissed off at this score all the time.
Yes, and that's the biggest struggle with most players is that part of the game, the negative part. And I think because negative is such a big sample size, so you said it yourself, 30% of the time you succeed, you're really good. That means 70% of the time you have to deal with the fact that you didn't perform the way you wanted, maybe you didn't get the result you wanted. You know what that's like. So if we could teach these kids that at a younger age and have them really grasp it and understand it by having them have fun, then we're setting a good foundation for them. Then it's easier to give them drills, make changes with them, because they're enthusiastic about it and they start to own it themselves.
So a big part of learning how to hit, obviously, and practicing and getting better is drill work. It's something that should be done consistently, something that should be done with intention to get better, attention to detail. But so today's focus is really just about showing the proper drills that can be comprehended by a younger player and how it can effectively teach them how to hit the right way and start, the foundation to build on as they get older and become a better ball player. Hopefully, that's the goal. Any thoughts?
Yes, I mean, you said it perfectly. The young guys, I would never give a 5-year-old anything crazy. The only things I would do with a young player, or what any of our coaches would do with a player that's like 4, 5, 6, 7, is really just kind of straighten their bodies out, because they don't have control of that yet. So if we could just get that in their brain and give them constant reminders, because again, the kids are not going to remember. So just constant, okay, straight feet out. That's one of the big things with my young players. You got to have straight feet. For yourself, for little kids, they have difficulty keeping their feet straight. Even guys my age, you know, if I don't check my feet, it could cause issues in my swing. So if they at least understand that, they will down the road get better at it, and that's one of the things. But like that would be one thing I would tell them: straighten your feet, maybe be athletic, hands up and back, and swing hard. You know, that's the other thing. Kids are, again, how we are as humans. We're defensive. So if something isn't to our liking, stop. So think about a kid who swings and misses at pitch, think about the dad's mad at him or her. They're probably not going to swing as hard the next time. We don't want that for the kids. We want them to improve and let them know, hey, you're going to swing and miss sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the growing process. So again, having them enjoy, and this is going to sound off the cuff a little bit, having them enjoy swinging hard and missing is better than them taking half swings and making soft contact.
Exactly.
So you can see how like all this is part of a development of not only the player but the person. That's the main goal of what we do here. We want to make sure those kids are raised properly too.
And a couple of these drills are so essential that I'm about to be 18 years old this spring, and I'm still doing them. And some of them are the exact same drills that he'll give to someone that is, a third of my age.
So, yes, and it's not all the drills, but like the basic stuff, getting your feet straight. We always talk about that, having a good base, making sure your hands are up and back, making sure your eyes are level, making sure that your torso isn't twisted so your head's not coming off the ball. Just simple, small things that make hitting easier.